okay, you're about to say sayonara, you try one more to pull them back, okay? So this is you're focusing on the 1 or 2% now, but that can make the difference between 20 transactions this year and 21 or 22, an extra 5,000 in your pocket, an extra 10,000. So probably worth just a little bit extra effort. All right? So remember, the choices that we make lead to the actions that we take. Actions over time form our habits determine our character shapes our destiny, and our destiny ultimately determines our legacy. So legacy is the influence we have on other people for generations to come. I mean, that's the big picture, right? We want to leave a positive legacy. The point of this little chart right here, specifically in relationship to our buyer conversion dialogue, I mean, what does this have to do with our impact on, okay, it's all this. It starts with the choices. And very specifically right here, we have the choice of who we enter into relationship with. Okay, people who are taking a spontaneous and reactive approach to purchasing their next home, or those who want to get serious and get focused and be intentional and proactive, who want to work with you in a successful win-win working relationship. Okay, we're saying that seemingly little choice leads to huge consequences. And Don, early on in your career, this is the best time to establish productive habits, okay, because you don't have bad habits. And you can just set your mind right from day one, I'm only going to work with people who are serious about this. You know, specifically in relationship to buyers, those who are motivated, qualified, and loyal. And that's what we define as an A buyer. If they're 2 out of 3, they're a B buyer. If they're 1 out of 3, they're a C buyer. If they're 0 out of 3, D buyer, dump, out, okay? B's and C's go to your ancillary arms to incubate. A buyers, get in your car. Okay, they're the ones that you spend time with right now. Okay? Any questions, pushback, feedback? Here we go on the label the caller dialogue. It'll change your life. It'll save you time. Your time is your life. Okay? So this next, I'm going to skip over a couple things here that I don't think perhaps are quite as relevant. So just go with me to page 23. These are home ads, samples that we're giving you that you can run in the local newspaper, that you can run on Craigslist, that you can run on Facebook ads, which is, by the way, a pretty good focused, targeted way of advertising. But if you have properties now in your listing inventory, you can generate some potential buyer calls with ads like this. First-time buyers, why rent when you can own? Free list of houses available for under $1,200 a month. Call now. By the way, what if you don't have a listing? You don't have listing inventory. Could you run an ad like that? You do. We all have listing inventory, don't we? We got the whole Houston MLS, right? Have you all ever run ads like this? Anybody ever done this? Craig Proctor has made gazillions of dollars running these kinds of ads. Any success with them? Yeah. So a couple years ago, when I first got my real estate license, I was still working for RE/MAX of Texas, so I didn't have the ability to work directly with buyers and sellers, but I could generate leads and get referrals. So I started running Craigslist ads that looked very much like this. And then I drove them to a website because I didn't have time to answer my phone because I had a day job, right? But I went to Weebly, WEEBLY.com. They've got free websites. They're just single-page websites. Then I went to jotforms.com and got their little registration widget, which was also free, loaded that into my Weebly landing page website. Free, free, free. Y'all hear all that, right? Craigslist is what? Free. Started running these little ads, and the leads started coming in. And the funny thing is, I was only focused on Houston. I started getting inquiries from all over the country. I don't know how that happened. I started sending those referrals out to agents I knew in Houston. By the way, I did it for about 2 months, generated 5 to 10 leads a day. A day. It was hugely successful. I'd run about 10 ads before I went to work in the morning, 10 at the lunch hour, and 10 in the evening. So I was running 30 ads a day to get 5 to 10 leads registering on my websites. Sent them out, not a single deal closed. And I got very discouraged. Those lazy agents, they're not working my leads, okay? And so I just shut the thing down. I discontinued the Weebly's and all of that. This was 2 years ago. Do you know as recently as early this year, January, February, I was still getting leads from that showing up in my email inbox? And I don't even know how that's technically possible because I shut all that stuff down. But somewhere out there in cyberspace, these things are lingering. So here's my point of my whole little story here. If you want buyer leads, you can get them. You can start generating them, I mean today, if you start running ads like this. And then it's simply a matter, and you can put your phone number in. You don't even have to do the Weebly Jot4 thing. Put your phone number and then just get their email, put them in a saved search, send them some properties and get a relationship started. But if you want to do the landing page and the website, you might get even more. A lot of people will sign up for a free list if they don't have to talk to a human being. Okay? So there's some options for you. Okay? Keep going with me. All right, because I want to look at the just listed, just sold campaign, and I'm going to jump all the way to page 28. Okay? So, when you take a listing, and this is true of any listing you take, but I'm going to say very specifically, you just an ironclad must do if it's a listing in your smart farm area. Okay? You need to door knock around the listing. And we would say at least 25 homes with this kind of dialogue. So Diane, see if you can say this. Hey, my name is Frank with RE/MAX. I've just listed the Smith's home at 123 Easy Street, key phrase. As an extra service to the Smiths, I'm visiting their closest neighbors to see who you may know at this time that's interested in buying in this neighborhood. Okay, have I just promoted myself? No, not directly, right? Okay, I know, I realize yes, as a secondary benefit. But my dialogue is not self-promotion. My dialogue is not solicitation. My dialogue is, hey, your neighbor's home is for sale. Would you like to have a role in picking your new neighbors? That's the message, okay? Nope, don't know anyone. Well, great. Here's my card. If you happen to run across anyone who wants to live in this neighborhood, please pass it along, okay? Really simple, non-threatening. It's not salesy at all, okay? Then if you have the phone numbers, make 50 calls around the new listing, other than the 25 homes, and here it's the same dialogue. By the way, if you don't have if it's in your smart farm, you may have gathered the numbers by now. If it's not, then we would just say, go knock on 25 more doors. Knock on 50 doors instead of 25. Is that a service to your seller? Oh, yeah. You know who else it serves? You're not kidding. This is the way to turn a listing into another listing, right there. You go knock on 50 doors. Let's just throw the phone calls out the window. Go knock on 50 doors with this dialogue. You're kidding. You would do that for the Smiths? No other agents ever knocked on my door, okay, asking me to help pick my neighbors. You know what? Yeah, we're kind of thinking about selling our home ourselves. Could you help us out? Think about that. 50 and a 5% turnover rate in the neighborhood, that means that 2 or 3 of those 50 are going to sell this year. Why wouldn't it be with you? Okay? My wife ran a Craigslist ad 2 weeks ago to sell some of our furniture because we moved into a new house and she needs new furniture, right? That's how it works, apparently. Family came over, look at our entertainment center. I'm wearing my old scruffy RE/MAX shirt because it's a Saturday. And it says, hey, you work at RE/MAX? I said, yeah, I sure do. I said, why do you ask? My company's moving me to Ohio. We don't even know a realtor. We were just talking 2 nights ago. We don't even know anybody in the business. I said, is that right? Well, you know somebody now. Here's my card, okay? So what happened? Okay, by the way, that home's on the market. I've listed it. I'm showing it tonight, okay, to a buyer who called in off of it. So, but here's my point. Just coming into contact with human beings where you are identifying yourself as a realtor creates opportunities. So it doesn't matter what you say when you knock on their door as you could be, hey, I found a puppy walking in the street, is this yours? But you've got RE/MAX labeled on you. You have opened the door to a potential relationship. Okay? You can do the puppy? Get your puppy. That's right. Okay, go to Walmart and get a box of puppies, okay? Then you can afford to give them away. Okay, so here's another way, and I said I would share with you a couple non-threatening ways to do this. In your farm area, do a canned food drive or a coat drive in the winter, or canned foods around the holidays. And just get some plastic bags that are, labeled Willow Pond Neighborhood Food Drive benefiting whatever charity. On the other side, it's your name and the RE/MAX balloon and your contact information. You go knock on every door in your smart farm and say, hey, I'm Susie with RE/MAX. I'm coordinating our neighborhood canned food drive. Would you be interested in taking a bag, filling it up, and I'll be by next Saturday morning to pick it up. If you're here, that's great. If you just want to leave it on the porch, that's fine too. And then all the food will be donated to XYZ local charity, okay? You've really set yourself up for 2 contacts, and they've had your bag in their house for a week with your contact information. You're not soliciting business, you're not promoting yourself, but you have become a linchpin of good vibrations in that neighborhood, okay, with what you're doing. You can coordinate a community betterment project. We're going to pick up all the trash along the hiking trails or around the lake in the neighborhood or whatever it is, okay? Or we're going to repaint the playground equipment this Saturday. Susie Realtor is going to provide all the paint and the brushes. Just show up in your grubbies at 10 o'clock. Let's do this together, okay? And put together a little door hanger with all that information on it, and then go around and put one on every door in the neighborhood. Very powerful. Very powerful message. I care about this neighborhood. I'm invested in this neighborhood. I'm the person who's making a difference. Okay? And if it's your own neighborhood, I love this old dialogue. I live here, I work here, I play here. Very powerful. I'm invested in this community. I make a difference. Okay? All right. Y'all like that? Yeah. If you're on a smart farm, and I would coach every one of you a smart farm. It's one of the most efficient. It's not immediate gratification prospecting like an expired call today, go on the appointment tonight. But if you're in this business for the long term, I think it's the most efficient way to grow your business. Okay? All right. So just sold dialogue, very similar process. By the way, let me say this. If you don't have a listing and you've never sold a property, can you implement a just listed, just sold campaign? Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't have to say you sold it, right? Or you listed it. If the property sells in your smart farm area, all you have to do is get door hangers. Just sold. 123 Easy Street. Buyers, shortage of inventory, have buyers. Please call if you want to sell your house now. You didn't claim to sell it, right? You just said it sold, and now we need more houses to sell. Okay? So don't be limited by lack of inventory. Okay? So, 32. Okay, so I hit the highlights that I wanted to cover. If you want to go deep on some of the accountability issues, look at those accountability pages, the tracking sheets. But I wanted to pause, get through as quickly as I could, and share with you what I promised about dramatically lowering the cost of mailing. And you're still here. I am so impressed. I'm good like that. I have those tricks, trainer tricks. Okay, so that did that last week when I went to the web, I think. Okay, so I'm back at our YouTube channel. If you got here late, you want to find this. Search Prosperous Agent. But now I'm leaving. And we're going to USPS.com, not .gov. Okay, so this is the United States Postal Service commercial site. You'll see in the upper hand corner there's a little search box, looks like a little Google search feature. And I want you to go there and type in these words. Every door direct. Every door direct. Every word separate. And you got your search results here. We're going to click on the very first one. And probably any of them would be fine. But here's what comes up. Every door direct mail. And then you'll see there's a hot button that says use the tool now. Well, we're going to do that, okay? Because we obey what the government says. They're telling us to use it now, so we're going to use it now. What comes up is a search feature. Here's a map of South Dakota if anybody wants to establish a smart farm in Sioux City. But you have the ability on the left-hand side of the page to enter a street address, city, state, or zip code. Let's do a zip code. Somebody give me a zip code in an area that you would consider farming.
77339.
Okay. 77339. Anybody aware of this already? Anybody know about this?
Aware of it, never looked at it.
Oh, you're going to love this. This is so slick. Okay, so okay, there it is, 77339, right? So y'all are familiar with this area? Now, here's where the magic starts. Look over here on the left-hand side of the page. These are the postal routes in 77339. There's route 2, 4, 5, 6, 9, 11, 12, etc. This shows you how many residences are on that route, how many businesses, total of the two, and because we're not going to mail to businesses, I'm going to take them out and say residential only. Okay? So in route 2, we have 875 residences. We can mail to every one of them for $140. It tells you right there. Okay? You could choose route 4, 337 addresses, total cost $53.92. I mean, it's almost free. I think if you do the math, it's about 16 cents. Bulk mail, Diane, I think is 32 cents right now, so it's literally half. 27?
The last one I did last week.
Oh, bulk mail. I'm sorry. Yeah, this isn't 27. Somebody do the math on this if you got a calculator. Yeah, okay, so let me show you how this can be even more helpful to you. You might say, yeah, but where is postal route 6? Because 557 is a nice number for me. Okay, I could do that. I can come up with $89.12 a month, particularly if my postcards are only costing me how much? A penny. Okay, so use the map feature, and you come over here and hover over an area, and it will tell you exactly where the route is. So if you know where you want to go in 77339, you just move the cursor over there, and it will tell you the route. So this is route 4, 530 addresses. And if you're like that, I think that's it, but I'm not quite sure, then you just drill down. Okay? Just like Google Map search feature. Boom. Okay? So right down to the streets that postal route covers. So Route 42, 561 addresses on those streets. Okay? You can get extremely specific with this. So I mentioned yesterday the experienced Woodlands agent who came to our class for the first time, and what lit her up was this. Because she said, I want to farm my neighborhood, a specific neighborhood in the Woodlands. She had no idea how to do that other than just buying the addresses and doing a bulk mail or something like this. So she looked up her neighborhood, and guess what? It is a postal route that covers her neighborhood and her neighborhood only. How perfect is that? So now every piece that she mails in, remember these are neighborhood update cards we're coaching you to send. You know, solds for the last month, average sale price, current homes on market, average list price. I mean, it can be drilled down to that neighborhood. Okay, so if you were to go back up to the Every Door Direct search, where we did that and the results are returned, or actually we could probably go back a screen here. You can request a kit, and it's on there. If I can't, I'm not going to probably find it right now, but if you just go to that Every Door Direct homepage where we started, there's a button on there that says Request a Kit, and the Postal Service will send you a free kit with everything that you need, because you have to use a certain postal indicia, or the postal mark on it, and you have to address it in a particular way. You're not mailing to Susie Smith at 123 Easy Street. You're mailing to local postal customer. So you don't even have to know the names and addresses. Then you bundle them up in stacks of 100, put a little routing sheet on the top. So in this case, if you did Route 2, 875 addresses, you'd have 8 bundles of 100 and 1 bundle of 75, and you take them down to the post office and turn them in. You have to go to the post office. So you need, if you're going to do this, you need to find the best time to go to the post office.
But do you have to have the bulk mail?
No,
deal?
it's not bulk mail.
You'll have this, what they give you is what you'll have printed out.
Yes, they will give you a specific indicia to print on your postcards. Okay?
Well, I remember when I was doing the bulk mail, I had to buy like a bulk mail permit.
None of that.
Your broker has that. Like we have one here. So 53,
Yeah.
73, 63, something like that.
It's not bulk mail. There is nothing to buy. There's literally no other cost.
I mean, they're going to charge you for that, but they're going to tell you instead of saying bulk mail number 73, yours is going to be printed whatever information you
Yes.
So I'm going to go
Yeah, it's a specific Every Door Direct indicia that you put up in the postal mark area. Okay? So doing something like this, 875 homes, $140 a month. You do that every month, you might be able to afford to launch something like this with an 8 and 8 or at least a 4 and 4, and then follow up once a month after that. Your investment costs are so low. If you can layer on top of that, doing the door-to-door food drives, just listed verbiage, just sold campaign, lost puppies, whatever it is, you can raise your profile in a community. And that still doesn't mean they're going to start calling you immediately, but I'm quite confident that within a year, with a fully orbed smart farm strategy, a 1% conversion rate is completely legitimate. 1% of the total number of homes in the neighborhood, or 20% of the homes that actually sell. Okay? All right, that's basically what I wanted to share with you all today. Any ahas? What's the best thing that you've heard today that's going to help you in your business?
Well, I think the mailing deal is pretty valuable. I think the door-to-door campaign, raises,
Yes.
I think that's extremely valuable, and it's a great approach.
Great. Great. Okay, thank you. Anything not clear that we need to touch on and just clear it up for you before we sign off? Okay. Has it been a valuable investment of 1 hour and 45 minutes? Okay. Well, I appreciate y'all making the commitment. Again, I'm here every Wednesday. If you ever want to talk personally, I'll be glad to schedule a one-on-one before or after class. Okay? Having said that, I'm supposed to be in Atascocita in 15 minutes. So thanks. I'm going to pack and run.
Pace behind you. Hopefully you're the one that gets the ticket.
Right, okay. I'll lead the way.
I know, I just thought of it. You follow me.